myself.
I gave you a chance to do the test.
To do SFSTs?
Yes.
Because any f***ing moron would do that? That's a f***ing trap.
Love it.
Don't even tell me it's not. You're a cop and you know the f*** it is.
It's not helping.
We all know it is. That's more evidence that you're f***ing drunk. Are you kidding me?
All right, we're back with our champ here, Tristan, and myself. We're watching a video from Real World Police. It's about a name-dropping cop who's arrested. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but we will figure it out. We're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it. We'll pause. We'll tell you the good. We'll tell you the bad. And I have no doubt you'll do the same in the comments.
What's going on?
Nothing. I was working today. I'm a cop too, but I work side job and I work at the barn.
Okay.
And I was getting ready to leave, and this guy's like pulls in while I'm about to back out, and his front passenger light gets shattered because he pulls into me as I'm backing out, and he's gonna be like, oh well, she backed into me. Well, no, he pulled in. And I'm not trying to have my insurance because I know how that goes. Like, if you're in reverse, you know.
Yeah, so he's in the bar right now.
No, he's right here.
Okay.
He's just a black guy right here.
Okay. So you were backing up and he was pulling in.
Well, no, I was about to back out and he pulls into the driveway.
This guy?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Great.
Well, what's going on?
So anyway, I'm leaving the barber shop.
Okay.
Right? So I'm pulling out. Car coming down on me, so the car can go back. He just kept coming back.
Here, talk to me over here.
Somebody over there was telling her to stop.
Okay.
And she did.
Okay.
And she got
Did you call or did she call? You called.
Yeah, she
I got you. I mixed that up, so.
She said, I'll give you $50. I'm like, yeah, this is my car. You're not going to give me no $50 for this light.
All right, let's assess. I mean, what do the cops do in this situation? They show up, they get everyone's story, they see if, they make a kind of their best guess, we'll call it, in terms of whether or not any traffic, because the officers didn't see it, right? Now, maybe they go check and see if there's video or something like that, but they see if they think a traffic violation's been committed and they write someone a ticket.
Based on who they find more credible.
Yeah, exactly. And that's usually how these things end. And then, they call us and they're like, I got a ticket. It's bullshit. The cop didn't believe me. Like, yeah, unfortunately, that's the way these things go, right? When the officer doesn't see it, got to come up and got to make an assessment. Yeah. Who's got a better story? Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's what they're sorting out now. And that's why you said the officer, like, come on over here. Like, let's not sort this out together. Let's separate you. You each tell your story so then we can assess.
So there's like no damage or anything, I don't think. I don't know if it was like this or if he was just trying to save life.
It probably just happened. There wouldn't still be debris, but... Alright, so he was...
I'm back out. I don't know if he pulled in. Like, he tried to be like, oh, you're backing into me, and like, there was nobody there.
Is this are you the owner?
Oh, my boyfriend.
Yeah, I mean, technically it would be at fault because you're backing up. But
yeah, but when somebody's fucking pulling in, like, that's the one thing.
I mean, it's minor damage. So was he coming? So he was coming this way.
Coming in.
So I'm just confused how that light got shattered.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. It is yes.
Unless he was going the other way
And
and
then
he turned around to.
that would make sense. But yeah. Yeah, it's the light on the passenger side, the right side of that vehicle.
So I stopped so that car can come, so I can keep going. I don't know where she is. She just kept coming.
You're a police officer?
Yeah, I was. I am.
So you're a police officer. She says,
Yes,
yeah, something like maybe said the department or something. Really hard to hear, but okay, that shouldn't really change the dynamic here, but I'm gonna guess it does.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I'm working here, bartending, which my chief knows, which is just like extra shift just to make some extra cash in. I was backing up to leave, and he's pulling in. So I'm like backing up, and he's like.
You're saying he was backing out.
Well, that's what he says, and like he was pulling in.
Okay, can you just step back a little bit, please?
He pulls in, and I'm like, I was backing up. He's like, no, like, you hit my car. And I'm like, you pulled in while I'm backing up.
Okay, did you offer to give him money just to get him to be quiet about all
No.
this? Or because that's what he's also claiming.
No.
That's not illegal.
No, it's not.
Where's your
You said that that's not illegal. What do you mean? Like generally speaking?
Generally speaking, if it's less than I think 1,500 or something like that, and there's no injuries involved, as long as both parties are in agreement, they don't
Right.
have to file a report. If one person wants to, then obviously you can't just leave, even if you don't want to.
Yeah, I think that's right. Like each state is going to be different on. I mean, these things happen all the time in every Walmart parking lot every day, right? Two people bump into each other, and so each state has different requirements on what needs.
But I don't
needs
think
to be
it's
reported.
per se problematic that she offered him money in this
No.
scenario. I don't think that shows.
I
any
agree, right? I don't
wrongdoing at all.
exactly. No, yeah, especially. I mean, like if it was a criminal charge, and creates. Yeah, like I should just punch him. Like, here, I'll give you money if you just don't call the cops.
Right,
Like
no.
that could be a problem. Obviously, if someone was injured, like the requirement, I'm sure in most states is. Certainly in Illinois, if someone's like injured in this accident, it's a legal requirement that you report it. And so then let me give you money to not report it would be problematic.
Yeah, very
Here, this is super minor, right? Like I think you said the threshold is like $1,500 if they have insurance here in Illinois. It's just probably not $1,500, right? So like you said, the mere act of like, hey, here, let me pay for that damage is not like per se illegal.
No, I don't think so. And I don't think it shows anything.
But
bad.
could it go to her consciousness of guilt?
It could. It could also, I would argue that it could just go to the fact that she wants to get out of there. There's minor damage and she
Yeah.
doesn't want to wait for the police and fill out a report.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, it could.
Yeah, but I mean,
could
if you're the
also.
officer, like, all right, if she'd made that statement, then she probably did back up into him or something. You know,
Maybe that, yes.
yeah, it
Maybe
might,
that,
like,
yeah.
okay, it might sort of influence the officer's investigation. Now, she denied it, but
Where's your vehicle?
Right here.
Copy that.
Which has literally no damage.
Hotel X-ray Whiskey 7587. Who's that come back to? Okay, were you drinking at all today, Amanda?
ooh,
Go ahead. How much are we talking about drinking?
No, not a lot. No.
What's not a lot?
Like 2 or 3 drinks. Like throughout the day.
2 or 3 drinks. Does your skin crawl when you hear that? Every freaking person
She's a
says
cop.
like 2 drinks, like 2 drinks. Like I know if you're law enforcement, comment. Do you believe anyone when they say 2 drinks? Like it is the most common thing where like people don't want to like outright lie. I mean, this is like what's going on in their mind. They don't want to outright lie because like maybe the officer smells it or whatever. People are hesitant to outright lie to police officers. Although sometimes that may be what you should do, but they're hesitant to do that. And they obviously they want to minimize it. So everyone says 2 drinks. It is the least credible answer that you can possibly give.
Right. And one thing, I mean, obviously they're thinking about, the smell and things
Mhm.
like that, but if the case goes to court, there's no smell on video.
No.
There's just what you said and what the cop says.
Totally. Great point. Great point.
I work 12 to 7. And it was all before 4:30. I have to go home. I have a baby. So 4:30 is like my cutoff, and I tell everybody
It's a
that.
little past 4:30, right?
Yeah. After 4:30, I didn't drink.
Okay. So this is probably the damage what you're looking at right here.
That's not even the right side. Like, I don't even know. Like, this wasn't even there. And
Well,
how would
of
that
course it wouldn't be
even-
there.
How would that even hit? Like,
Now that makes
it's
sense.
passenger side.
So she pulled in afterwards.
Right, or he was pulling in next to her on that side, maybe. Like
I
that. I don't know. Yeah.
I still want to hear this guy's story because
Yeah.
now I believe this guy even more.
Right.
And you and I just had that like I think his story is more succinct, more credible, makes sense, even though I'm not even sure what he's actually trying to describe.
Also, he didn't just come from a bar.
Now there's that.
Tends
Yes.
to give credibility.
Yes.
Well, I don't know, but there are cameras here.
Okay,
So-
so let's look at the cameras.
right. Are you disputing the fact that there's an accident at all?
I mean, yes and no. Like, I feel like
Why don't you call and verify that? You feel like what?
I feel like I'm walking away.
And I felt like maybe like
Just throw your keys up on the dash, okay? Just, I don't want the keys in your hands right now.
right. I don't think it was what he's saying it is.
Okay. How much did you drink today?
Not a lot.
What's not a lot?
I'm gonna say like maybe 2 or 3 drinks. It was all before 4:30.
What though?
2 or 3 shots before 4:30. Vodka?
Okay.
That was all before 4:30, and it's 7 now.
Okay. Would you object to doing any standardized field sobriety tests?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
You know that'd be a refusal, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you know the penalties that go with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why would you want to refuse?
Because I'm an officer and I know how this works.
Okay. You do know the penalties that go with refusing, right?
Yes.
So if you do the tests, I could see if
That's fine.
maybe that's not the case today.
Okay.
So that's also what I'm getting at.
For the uninitiated, the law in most states, or perhaps all states, certainly here in Illinois, is they want you to comply. Now we'll go into comply on what, but they want you to comply because when you do tests and you fail them, it makes the criminal charge of driving under the influence a lot stronger, right? It benefits the police and the prosecution when you do these things. So they make penalties for refusing. Here in Illinois, you are not penalized for outright for refusing the standard field sobriety tests on a alcohol-based DUI.
But that is absolutely a trap.
What do you mean?
In that he's saying, there's consequences if
Yes.
you refuse. That's true. He's right.
Yeah.
And he's saying if you comply, maybe those consequences don't have to happen.
Yes.
He's trying to coax her into doing
Yes.
it. However, as he well knows, and she does too, I hope, nobody passes these tests. She's not going to pass those tests. She's going to fail them. The only
Yes.
question is maybe she does a really great job and fails on a small technical reason, and
Mhm.
later on the judge realizes that's too nitpicky, but
Yes.
she's going to fail those tests. There's no scenario here where she's going to pass those tests.
Could not agree with you more. Yes.
So doing them is an absolute trap.
Yes, and so you would recommend that.
Don't.
I don't even know what the rules are in this state. I don't even know what state we're in. I really don't. But I can promise you that you refused penalty is not as bad as the
You lose.
you lose penalty of the DUI charge. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Would you want to take the test? All right, step up. Sure.
That officer had no choice then but to put her in handcuffs, right? He knew she'd admitted to drinking. Her story makes no sense. What's he do then? So, okay, you refused. See you later. Have a good night. No, he's got to arrest her now, right? And that's the way it goes. When you refuse, you're going to get arrested most of the time, right? 99% of the time. But I wanted to pause at the moment that she was placed in handcuffs, which it seems like that's what happened there. Because that is a legal arrest. That is an arrest, right? She's in custody now. Now let's rewind. What does that officer have? Doesn't have the tests, right? He has an admission, which she didn't have to give, right? And she has even more than an admission. It's the 2 to 3 drinks and the timelines. She didn't have to provide any of that. She could have just said no to all that. And he's still going to ask her to do the field sobriety test. She still refuses. He still puts her in handcuffs. But what is there to go on? Just a fender bender.
Fender bender.
And this officer saying that he smells alcohol.
Right.
Dude, you're a cop. I can't believe you're even doing that.
you have anything illegal on you?
No.
Yeah,
Turn around.
this is where she gets like indignant, like
Yeah.
like how dare you do this? I'll bet you. I'll
This
bet
is
you.
where she screws it up.
Yeah, this is where great. Yes, you're right. This is where she screws it up.
Because people get mad, they start saying things they shouldn't. or
Totally
they
right.
get sad and desperate. They start
Yep.
begging and saying things they shouldn't.
Yep,
Because they think it's over.
Yes.
They think they're done. If they've been arrested, they think it's over.
But they're not.
They're still gathering evidence.
Yep, and she'll be on video in the back of this squad car, right? And there's going to be everything she says. Even when the officer, oftentimes, obviously the, audio video in each squad car is going to be a little different in each department. But even when this officer's back out in a minute, talking with other people, whatever, her sitting in that car all alone in handcuffs, the things she's saying to herself, muttering under her breath, dozing off, falling asleep, that's all recorded, and that's all part of the DUI case against you.
Yes.
Separate your feet.
Seen enough of these.
Slide over this way. Just slide over this way. Come on.
My police ID is in there too.
What's that?
My police ID is in there too.
I understand that, but you do know what comes with a refusal, correct?
Yes.
Do you,
And I know that.
do you maybe want to rethink that decision?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, hands are kind of tied then. So I asked her if she wanted to take any standardized field sobriety tests. She's refusing. She told me she's been drinking, but she stopped after 4:30, roughly. I told her, I said, you know what a refusal means, right? All you have to do is just, you know what the penalties go with a refusal, right? So I didn't call it over, but
Yeah, I called and she is commissioned at Kelly's.
okay, I'm gonna explain something to you one last time, okay?
I want to
You
know
know
what
what
state
comes with
this
a
is.
refusal, correct?
Listen, I'm a cop. Yes, I know. It's an automatic 1-year suspension, and that's fine.
Okay, so
I'm not at fault here.
okay.
And if I can make
I don't
my
know.
call-
I don't know about the accident, but you did slur a little bit of your words.
That's fine.
You're telling me you
Or
drank.
you
You're coming out of a bar, right?
Okay. That's fine.
So-
and I'm working a side job, and we can refute that in court. That's fine.
She's right.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, does it have to go that far?
Does it have to go that far? I'm a cop, too. I know how this shit works.
Okay.
Thank you.
She's right.
Yeah.
I mean, the person, the woman being arrested is right. Like, yeah. She shouldn't have 100% full confidence in her ability to do all those circus tricks. Then she should refuse them.
Absolutely.
And she's right. You can refute them in court. For the viewers here, Illinois, for an alcohol-based, when you get drugs, it's a little different. But an alcohol-based DUI, which is clearly what this is at this point in time, there's no actual penalty here in Illinois for refusing to do those standard field sobriety tests, which is standard ones are followed, like finger of the pen with your eyes, the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, the walk and turn, basically walk straight line, and then the stand on one leg test. Those are the 3 standard field sobriety tests that are put out there across all 50 states for alcohol-based DUIs. Here in Illinois, you can refuse those without penalty. Like, you get arrested like we saw here, but no additional charges or penalty.
Yes.
Refusing a breathalyzer there can be a suspension of your license. Some states will charge you with like an extra misdemeanor for failing to comply with that. Now, with that context in mind, why are you saying that this officer is like, hard charging on her?
Because he's pushing these tests so hard, and it seems like if there's not actually a penalty for refusing them,
Right.
then he's just trying to trick her.
Yeah, he is.
He's
just
misstating the law.
Yeah, he's misstating the law. He's making it a bigger issue at this point in time because she hasn't even been offered a breathalyzer yet.
I think courts would differ on how important that is, but I think most people would say it's not a good thing
Uh,
to misstate the law
yes,
in an attempt to coerce somebody to do something they don't have to do.
I tend to agree. Yep, exactly. This So this may be cutting against this officer's DUI arrest a little bit.
Yeah.
He's already got her in custody. I get it. He wants a more rock solid case because that's what they do, right? And she probably certainly would hurt her case if she did some tests. So I get why the officer's asking it, but you can't go too far and outright misstate the law and badger her. You know what I mean?
Especially when she's in custody. Like
Yeah,
that.
especially since she's already in custody. So another interesting twist here.
I'm not trying to beat her.
You're a cop at Kelly's Island?
Yes, I was number 3 at Parma. I was almost in, so
Oh, okay.
you don't have to tell me. And the owner of this bar is Walter O'Malley. His brother's a prosecutor. He knows the mayor. We're all cool. It's fine.
Oh, sounds good if you put it that way.
That's a good response. Little name dropping.
Okay, just so you do understand, so we're on the same page, you are getting arrested for an OVI refusal at this time, okay?
Okay.
All right, step out. We're going to switch cars here. Didn't drop anything in there?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to go in this car right here.
So I have no idea what the law is there, but it seems like that there is an additional charge and even some pretty stiff mandatory penalties for refusing
Oh, yeah.
that testing. But it seems like maybe the officer is not overstating. He's repeatedly stating it, that's for sure, but he may not be overstating it.
Right.
Here's her in the back of the car, like we
You
said.
have my phone?
Yep, it's on my floorboard.
Can I make a call?
Happy night.
My boyfriend can come pick up the car. You don't need to tow it.
Well, it's kind of our protocol if you're being arrested for an OVI.
It's not even in my name, it's in his name.
Doesn't matter.
It's not gonna cost me more money.
Yes.
Thank you. You guys could literally be cool about this and let me. Oh my God,
He told her to be quiet. He's right.
dude! I hope karma bites you in your ass. I hope. Are you new?
Nope. I'm a
Okay.
7-year veteran.
All right. Well, this is ridiculous. I can't even believe you do this to like another cop. Then, like, what the hell is wrong with you?
It's nothing I really enjoy, but it is what it is.
I didn't even do anything. Oh, okay. Because if you were under arrest for an OVI, you'd totally submit to doing tests.
She's right about that.
I wouldn't get mine to be like
Thank you for making my life more difficult.
you did it to yourself.
No, I didn't do it to myself.
I gave you a chance to do the test.
To do SFSTs?
Yes.
Because any f***ing moron would do that? That's a f***ing trap.
Love it.
Don't even tell me it's not. You're a cop and you know the f*** it is.
It's not helpful.
We all know it is. That's more evidence that you're f***ing drunk. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's not helping.
Not helping.
Okay, you say you'll have your day in court. That's what.
But she's right.
She's right. This is huge consciousness of guilt.
Yes, exactly. It totally is.
She's basically telling them I know I'm going to fail.
Right, exactly right. There is a way to do it. Like, I don't trust the tests, and then shut up, right? Or
But don't walk them through your
yeah,
reasoning.
I don't trust the tests. It's not that I don't trust
Me.
trust me is a big, yeah, exactly. And so this is just a perfect example. And you called it. We said like she's gonna be in the back of this car and she's gonna walk herself into more of a headache, and that's what she's doing.
And I will. But to tow my car and to do this to me, like, you're an officer. Like, what the f***?
Also not very
So
sympathetic.
are you. You're held
Yes! Little do you know, the owner of the bar, his brother's a f***ing prosecutor, and he's, like, best friends with the mayor. Good job.
Yeah. Those things, those connections. I mean, everyone's got a connection to somebody, right? Those things are a lot harder to cash in on those
Yes.
connections these days because everything's on camera and nobody wants to wind up on the front page of the newspaper or the modern equivalent on YouTube, I think. Nobody wants to wind up on the news. And now
For being corrupt, especially when they're name dropped.
exactly. That's the worst part.
Police arrest.
Yes, that's the worst part is even say this prosecutor had all this pull, the mayor, which he doesn't, guys. Newsflash, the mayor of a town is not going to get you out of criminal charges. But the prosecutor, in theory, could. He has that power to dismiss charges.
Now he can't.
Yeah, even if he was going to do that, like even if that was something he was going to do, now you just tied his hands.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Doesn't mean anything, but good job. What's your name? Huh? Patrolman what? Rankin. 7 years on. Parma. Okay.
Yep, 4 here and 3 within the city of Cleveland.
Okay.
So this isn't my first day.
All right, good.
Yeah, all right. So now we're going through the our main man Salda here, our videographer. Round of applause for Salda. Thank you. The man behind the camera here pulled up the description of the original YouTube video, the one we just watched. Tons of gold in here. She pled not guilty to the charges, makes sense. She filed a petition to be declared indigent, which basically means get appointed a public defender is what we call them. People cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. That's what she exercised, and it's up to the court to actually approve it, and they did. And they appointed her, this O'Malley guy, who's apparently the one she's referencing. Now, she was referencing him as a prosecutor, and now she was name dropping him, right? And he's no longer a prosecutor. He now apparently defends cases and got appointed. So he was known previously for an indefinite disbarment.
So how could he be practicing law to be appointed?
Don't know.
Because that's 3 years or 7 years before this.
For some federal stuff. I mean, yeah, look, he went to...
Because your thing was in 2020. In 2013, he was indefinitely disbarred. I don't understand how they would have... Oh, he was reinstated.
And he was
Well,
reinstated.
then why are they telling us about the indefinite disbarment?
Well, it's because it's pretty relevant to maybe this guy's character, perhaps. Disbarment generated a lot of press. And then he was reinstated. And this is why we do the reaction and without any information going into it. Because if I knew all this, I'd have been like trying to calculate all this stuff. I mean, so she pleads not guilty. She gets assigned to the attorney as a public defender of sorts. The guy she's name dropping, who is a former prosecutor apparently, and he was formerly indefinitely disbarred, but not totally indefinitely disbarred. He got reinstated, and now he's taking on defense work, and he's winning.
Yeah.
He's winning. I mean, he went to trial. She was found not guilty of the DUI related charges. Who cares about the traffic ticket? Pay the $315 and be gone. That's wild. She was right about refusing. She was totally wrong about this accident, but she was right about refusing the field. She got off on the DUI. She was right, just sort of from the wrong angle about this O'Malley guy helping her. He did. This is wild. Now, how do we grade this? All right. So here, I know a fairly straightforward, easy grade that we can do, I think. The arresting officer, how'd he do?
I think he did pretty well. I mean, he shows up to an accident. He's got the complaining witness, that other guy. He interviews them separately. He determines that she was driving the car based on her statements. I think the guy said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He smells alcohol. He asked her about consumption. She says she did. She gives him a timeline, which 2 to 3 drinks. I think they said it was 7 o'clock when this was happening.
Yeah.
So that was 2.5 hours later. If you use the standard 1 drink per 1 hour, she's potentially within the window of intoxication.
Yeah.
She makes some confusing statements about what happened. He asked her to do the test. She refuses. I think he would have been looking at a potential disciplinary issue if he just walked away from that and said, have a nice night.
Yeah.
Like, what if she hits somebody and kills them? Or,
Totally.
Like, I don't think he could walk away.
Right. And, so what's your grade?
I would give him a B+.
Yeah, I think he did fine. And, he didn't really provide much, if any, favorable treatment to her because she was an officer.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think so.
No, I mean, I don't think it was particularly hard on her, like, unduly hard on her. I don't think it was particularly easy on her either. He did say, like, I get no pleasure in doing this, right? Which totally fine. But yeah, he conducted a normal investigation. The fact that he lost, that she was found not guilty in the end is it's not a reflection upon the officer in this case.
Right.
Sometimes it is. Like, officers can totally botch it, but in this case, like, she refused. What's he gonna do? The ball's back in his court. He made the arrest. That's what he has to do. So yeah, I agree. I would even say like an A for the arresting officer. Now, how about this Myers woman? What's your grade? How do you assess this?
I mean, I'd give her a B, maybe a B minus, because in the end, she did everything right.
She did.
She didn't do the fields. She didn't
Yep.
screw herself, and she tried to give a reasonable timeline on drinking. She botched it a little bit, but she did the important stuff right by not providing them a lot of evidence.
Yeah.
She just talked a little too much.
And in this case, the end result speaks for itself.
Right.
She got found not guilty. So yeah, I guess I'll do a B. I'm gonna start at the bottom here. Like, you get an F for what appears to be drinking and driving, even though she's found not guilty. I don't know.
It was never a sure thing.
No, it's not. It's a bad idea, right? It's a bad idea at that point. But little minor accident, whatever. She refuses, like she should. She makes a couple statements. That's why she's not getting an A. She refuses when it mattered. She kind of walked herself into a little bit more trouble behind the car. I don't think when she was in the car, I don't think she helped herself when she was in the back seat. But in the end, she beat this case and cashed in on the relationship that she had with this O'Malley guy somehow. So proof's in the pudding. She's found not guilty of the DUI. There you go. All right, that was kind of it was like the DUI arrest was kind of straightforward, like a little accident. Oh, you've been drinking. Okay, you're coming with me. You're getting arrested. But there was all these other things there.
The cop angle, nobody actually saw anybody driving.
Yes. Yep. The weird description of the accident. Yeah. The fact that one of them's a cop, name dropping at the end. We had to figure out what was up with all these like refusal penalties. So that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was definitely a good one.
And I hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks for watching.